जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान. So beautiful. मतलब Hanuman ji is mesmerizing with so much of power, so much of strength. He could have himself got the entire Lanka back with Ma Sita. But the Sanyam that he followed, that this is your role and this is how you're supposed to play it. Your duty is to go and find out and come back and do nothing else. If need be, show a little bit of your power, that's about it. And that is what he did. And what was his power? And his power was the Ram Naam, Hari Naam. When asked, how did you go around, what did you do, Hanuman, by Ramji? Hanumanji mixed the entire sequence up. He said, I burned the Lanka, I went to the Ashok Vatika, I had jumped the ocean. So Ramji stopped him and he said, what are you saying? This is not the sequence of events. First you jumped the ocean, then you destroyed all the Rakshasis, then you hit a Mushtika to Lankini, and then you met Vibhishan after you could not find Sita, so on and so forth. So Hanumanji smiled. He said, of course, you would know what happened better than me, because it was you and your power that got everything done. I was but a puppet in your hand. Hence you know and I don't. And the irony is कि हम थोड़ा सा ही करते हैं and the I comes in कि I did it. I know. And when Hanuman ji was so great, till the very end, even till now, he would say, I do not know. Whenever the Ram Katha is going on, he comes and sits quietly, again and again to listen to something that he had witnessed himself. And probably he is witnessing them in various yugs. So I'm sure he's listening and now he's experiencing. He must be waiting as to when I will come into the picture. It takes a very long time to reach Hanumanji. Bhakti sets in after a very long time. In Uttarakhand, when Kagbhasundi and Garudji and Ma Parvati and Shivji are interacting, and when Garudji goes to take Gyan from Kagbhasundi, a crow. Now, Ma Parvati ko ye thik nahi laga. She said, how is it possible? Not that I am doubting the ability of the crow, but you thought that the crow would give better Gyan as compared to you himself who Garudji had come to first. And he said, yes, because that crow is a Bhakt. And then the calculation of a Bhakt starts, and Bhakti is the ultimate phase. And there is a beautiful narration. I'll share that paragraph and then we'll discuss it next week. But he says, हजारों लाखों योगियों में, तपस्वियों में, realized souls में एक कोई भक्त होता है. So when we say that I am a devotee or I am a bhakt, are we actually devotees or bhakt? Or should we probably replace it with I am the child of the Lord? Like Lakshman. He could do whatever he wanted to do. He did not have to follow Ramji's orders, which he did. But when they were leaving, and very soon we'll see, when they depart from Ayodhya to the Vanvas, Lakshmanji says that I do not understand any of your counsel. मुझे आप जो बोल रहे हो समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है. Because I am the child, not only a 4 or 5-year-old, I am that baby who needs the milk of his mother to survive. And I do not understand anything else. मैं आपका दूध पीता बच्चा हूँ and मैं आपके बिना जी नहीं सकता. So what is right, what is wrong, what is supposed to be done is something you can explain to Bharat and Shatrughan. I am coming with you. The minute you become a child of God, everything becomes very simple. And all those karma kand and everything that is associated with this world vanishes. Hari Om. And this is the beauty of Hanumanji and Lakshmanji. And they are always with Ramji. Right now, Ramji and Lakshmanji have entered Janakpuri, right? And it took us a long time, slowly and steadily. We paced ourselves very slowly. Because we are stepping now from one ashram to another ashram. We saw how Ramji was in his Brahmacharya ashram. And as we have many a time said, Our scriptures are never a random compilation of events and stories. They are very structured in their way. The entire knowledge of the Veds and the Purans are given through this one Ramayana. So it is very structured. It structuredly take you from one phase to another phase, explaining, and we are to grasp it. And every time we read it, the morals and the meanings will be different. So now they have entered Janakpuri. Last week we discussed about the Samundar Manthan. We talked about Daityas and Devas. And luckily it coincided with the Rakhi festival, which was the festival, one of the reasons why it's celebrated is the bond between Mahalakshmi and Raja Bali, right? And how Vishnuji stood there as a gatekeeper of Raja Bali. So Daityas and the Devas are but the offspring of one father, right? So good and evil both reside in us. We oscillate. We oscillate depending on the situation, depending on the people, depending on our moods. And nowadays it is depending on our hormones because we have no control over them, right? It's so easy to blame other things for our behavior. Koi baat nahi, it's all right. Even teenagers complain now, say it's all my hormones, it's not me. No problem. We have given the locus of control to everything else but us. Right? That's the irony. But see, Ramji has the locus of control within, and that is the journey all about. Because steadily and slowly, with every nurturing, the locus of control was being shifted inwards. Because all the gurus knew the ordeal he is going to go through in his life. It was not hidden from them. They were Trikaldarshi, Adi, Madhya, Ant. Now, Guru Vashisht we talked about was the guru of all the Ikshvakus. And in fact, before the Gotra got changed, now we said last time that Raja Janak and Mithila Vasis and this Janakpuri was at that time under the king Nimi, right? And his kingdom was there. I'll share the entire lineage. We won't go into it right now. And his guru was also Guru Vashisht, because all the Ikshvakus had the guru as Guru Vashisht, right? But the beauty is when the time came, the Gotra change happened. We all know, right? Ki in one Gotra the Shadi does not happen, right? The Gotra has to be different. Now we said that they were also Ikshvakus. So agar they were also Ikshvakus, तो फिर राम जी एंड सीता जी का विवाह कैसे होता? कहीं ना कहीं the gotra had to be changed, right? And it was very thoughtfully done. So Raja Nimi was his name later, also had his guru as Guru Vashisht. And he wanted to do a big yagna. So he went to Guru Vashisht, who was the guru of all the Ikshvakus, and he said that I want to conduct a yagna. Can you be there with us? Can you please help us do the yagna? Every kingdom had their main gurus, right? So they would do all the yagna, they would do the counseling, they would run the kingdom indirectly. They would actually be the counsel of the king as to what is right conduct, wrong conduct, what is spiritual in nature, what is not spiritual in nature. It was not, nowadays we say, it does not go hand in hand. Everything goes hand in hand. Running a country cannot be done without having a spiritual counsel. When I say spiritual, it is not being defined by any religion. Spirituality is beyond religion, right? So spirituality is beyond religion. So over here, they had the spiritual guru as Guru Vashisht, who would always be there in the sabha, be it the Ikshvakus or the, all of them. So now he said, I want to do a very big yagna, and could you please come? But now Guru Vashisht said, listen, I will come. You give me the time, date, details, all the details of when the yagna has to be done. I have to go to Indralok because I've already committed. मेरा appointment fit है, set है. मेरे को इंद्रलोक जाके पूरा काम करके वो सब करके आना है. You give me the time. At that time I'll descend. Now nowadays, what we have done is we have isolated ourselves. Today if we tell the children कि okay there is a Indralok, you can go and meet devas. और नवग्रह का होता है ना, when we are doing any puja, वो नवग्रह स्थापना होती है. Then we invite all of them. We invite the navgrahas, we invite the devas. They come, they sit, and all through that 7 days of Bhagavad or Ramayan, they are there. And at the same time, the pandits are sitting and reading and chanting from the original script while the narrator is narrating. So पूरी स्थापना होती है. Now if we say कि नवग्रह उतर के आते हैं, no child will believe it. We tell them that there are various sloks in which various gurus exist whose ages could be of various years. They'll say, what nonsense. Because now we have put blinkers and we say, जो मुझे समझ आता है, whatever meets my mind and my eye is the reality, बाकी सब गलत है. So because conditioning है, this is the conditioning. So if we say that Guru Vashisht went to Indralok, that is Swargalok, to do his work and then came back to Mrityulok, it is like already a myth for them. But this happened, right? So he could go through various lokas. He initially came from Brahmalok, isn't it? He was the offspring of the willpower of Brahmaji. When he did not know what to do, he was sitting alone in the lotus, on the lotus. He had no answers. He did a lot of tapasya, and through that willpower came out the rishis, and one of them was Rishi Guru Vashisht. So now he went and he said, okay, I'll inform. And as a replacement, now they had various gurus. So they said, okay, Guru Gautam will start the puja, and once it is done, you come. Now Guru Vashisht went. However, the error was that right communication of the time and the details did not happen. He got so engrossed in the entire scheme of things that he forgot to tell his own guru about what it is going to be and when he should arrive. And towards the end of the yagna, Guru Vashisht descended and he realized that the entire yagna has been done without him. Now Guru Vashisht showed his resentment. He said, how can you do such a thing? Matlab, you could not be focused enough to know what is the right way of doing a yagna. Because anything, कहते हैं ना कि anything done in the wrong manner bears more destruction than fruit. ऐसा नहीं होता कि कैसे भी कर लो. No. When you are engrossed in karma kand and you are doing a yagna, there has to be a vidhi. And if you don't follow the vidhi, there is a big problem. Because right now you're saying मैं कर्म कांड करूंगा और वो भी अपने हिसाब से करूंगा, वो नहीं होता. Right? If you're doing karma kand, there is a vidhi. So you have not followed the vidhi. So now what? He said, I understand. He accepted his mistake. And he said, what I am going to do is, because of this error, just imagine how big an error it was for him, I will leave my body. I will leave my body. But the only thing that I want is that I should be able to reside on the eyelashes of everybody so that I can see my citizens, I can see them doing good work. I do not want to not be able to witness and see. So saying this, Guru Vashisht said Tathastu, and he left his body. He resides on the eyelash, and that is why he is known as Nimi, Guru Nimi. कहते हैं ना निमिषा, less than a second, only a second. So that is where he was there. And then through churning and through yagna, a lot of things, and then a new king was established, and this is where the gotra change happened. Right? So abhi tak, it was Nimi, it was Ikshvaku. Through this short story, we have not gone into very much of a detail here, but through this, the gotra change happened, and now it became Vedeha or Janakas who had come. Right? What is Vedeha? When Sri Ram entered, he was so mesmerized to see Janakpuri, and Janakpuri was, as it is very beautiful. If you look at the location of Janakpuri, even today on the maps, you will see that it is in the arms or the laps of a lot of mountain ranges. It is so beautiful, the place in itself, that it is beyond description. And now it was decorated because of the Swambar that was being planned. Now Sri Ram did not know about it. He just followed his guru ki chalo Janakpuri jayenge. Vishwamitra said, okay, chalenge. And when he entered, he could not believe his eyes. Now he is a Ayodhya Vasi. Ayodhya was no less, but Janakpuri mesmerized him. And he said, why are you calling him Videha? Isn't Videha the one without any body? So he said yes, and the story of Nimi came forward, but there is a deeper meaning to it. What is Vedeha? And all the kings of Janakpur are known as Janakas, the fathers, one to the other, to the other, to the other. And then they have their own names. So, then he said, what is the meaning of Vedeha? Why do you call them Vedeha? Like we say Vedehi also, right? He said, yes, doesn't that mean that the one without a body? And again, Vishwamitra is very happy because he has such curious people. They keep asking questions, both of them. And Vishwamitra is overwhelmed and he replies. He said, yes, it means that. With the story of Nimi. But along with that, Janak and the kingdom had something very different to it. They were in the body, but they were beyond it. They were in the body, but they were beyond it. And we have discussed it in the initial days of the Ramayana. As to we used to say, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the soul. I am the soul. I am that Atman. I am not the thought. And they all lived it. Pura. And it was visible because when he walked around, when he just entered Janakpur, he felt that there was oneness in the entire event. Everybody was one. There was no two. Later on we'll see when Lakshmanji complains and he says, Ki you have time for everybody else. You talk to everybody else, you counsel everybody else in the forest, you're meeting sages, you're meeting people. Everybody gets a chance to talk to you. I never do. So I have a set of few questions that I want to ask you. He said, okay, ask. So Lakshmanji asked. And one of the questions were, Ki what is Maya? Right? And this is a line which is very close to my heart. It says, and because it was Lakshman, the explanation was very short. Because he understood. Jada kuch bolne ki zarurat bhi nahi thi. So Lakshman said, what is Maya? Ramji said, Main arumor torte Maya. Me and mine, you and yours is Maya. When there is no me and mine, and there is no you and yours, when there is only oneness, there is no Maya. And Janakpur had no Maya. It was free from Maya. Kuch nahi. Pure, total. Everybody along with the king believed in that oneness and lived in that oneness. And what happens with Maya? Attachment comes, right? Attachment. And then what happens? Rag and Dvesh. There was no Rag and Dvesh in Janakpuri. We say Rag. What is so wrong in Rag? Rag is attachment. Whom do we have Rag with? What do you think? Whom do we have Rag with? You can unmute and answer. Or maybe, if you want to, write 10 people who you have Rag with and write 10 people who you have Dvesh with. Rag is the 10 people whom we love dearly, right? And you know exactly the top name will be who, the second name will be who, है ना? अगर हम लिखना शुरू करेंगे, जिनका हमारे को राग है, फटाफट 10 entries will be there. And probably Dvesh ki bhi there will be 20 entries, right? Now, if I start asking you to cross out the people, right? Suppose 10 people you have Rag with, 20 people you have Dvesh with. If you wish to write, you can. And then, or you can do this exercise when you feel like it, when you're alone, and if you have time. When you are crossing out the people whom you have Dvesh with, it's not an effort. That I don't want these people in my life. Right? I forgive them, I forget them, I don't want to think about them. Finish. But when those 10 people or those 15 people we have Rag with, and now I start. Out of those 15, can you please remove 5? How difficult would that be? We have suppose made a list of 15. Out of that, I'll request you to remove 5. Try this exercise. It's very, very stressful. It's so stressful. You cannot cut the names of those 15 people. So you cannot cut even one name. But if you're forced to, you will. Then I'll say, okay, remove another 2. Let only 8 be there. Again, the trauma that the person will go through. How can I not have these people in my life? How can I do without them? निकाल दिया आपने. 8, another 3 can you please remove? It can be so traumatizing that tears might start flowing. Even the thought of not having them is so sad. It's not possible. Ab bache 5. I'll say, okay, remove 2 more. Fir? And when slowly and steadily it is only the boundaries of your house that remain, you will tear the people and refuse to cut even a single one out. इसे बोलते हैं राग. Try this exercise and see how traumatized you feel. And this is rag. I don't think there is any other better way to explain rag, because it's very traumatizing, and this exercise is really, it'll lie in your mind for around 15-20 days, if not more. कि कभी ऐसा हुआ तो मैं ऐसा नहीं कर सकती. When you're asked to choose, sometimes the children will put you in a dilemma and they'll say, just imagine, suppose this happens and both of us are falling. Whom are you going to choose? What will you do? Rag hai na? Attachment. At that time, what happens is our mind gets very clouded. It is only emotions that are playing. Only emotions. No logical thinking happens. And that is what rag and attachment does. But the next question would be, I'm sorry, we can do this exercise. Do it. Pakka se akele baith can see the tears roll down. But we'll say ki no, attachment is needed. How can you not be attached to your child? How can you not have rag with your child? Is it not how and then you'll say, no, I love my child. So I'm attached to my child. And that is where Janak Puri was beyond that. They knew love. There was no scope for attachment and rag. Dvesh to tha hi nahi Janakvasiyon mein. Right? So, what happened? There was no dvesh. There was no rag. There was no attachment. They were detached lovers of everybody. Is it possible to love without being attached? Is it possible to love without expectations? Is it possible to love without any motives? And we'll say, no. Mother's love is selfless, isn't it? Is mother's love selfless? Whom are you falling in love with? Your child, right? You are loving your child because it is your child. Had that same person been somebody else's child, would you love him as much? So mother's love is not selfless either. This is a very repeated examples that we get in our scriptures, but it is very important right now because we are trying to understand Janak Puri. Right? This is understanding what Janak Puri was and what Sri Ramji was explaining and experiencing when he said, I see oneness here. I don't see two. I feel as if there is one huge entity called Janak Puri. How is it possible? A mother's love is selfless. Yes, if the mother's love is selfless, then suppose this same child, whatever his name is or her name is, had been somebody else's child, the same child, same height, same color, same weight, same mannerism, same genetics, everything. Genetics to alag ho jayenge kisi aur ka hoga, to assume ki same is your neighbor's child. Who are you loving, that person or your child? Very important question. We are loving our child. कहते हैं ना, a mother loves her child because it is her child. A father loves her child because his child. This is swarth. This is not niswarth pyar anywhere. And this is true. Today, this child is ours, right? How do we know in the last birth whose child was he? How do we know in the coming birth whose child will he or she be? It's a very small journey that we have together, right? Just now I was talking to Amma. Life is so short. Your togetherness with your child is what, 30, 40 years? Because we have our children, then by the time things happen, children are gone, but we leave. What is the association we have with our children? Very small. And is that association so much of attachment, so much of, mamakar, so much of rag, that we forget what we have come down for. And we forget that they also have a purpose in their life. They have their own independent journeys. They are not supposed to fulfill our unfulfilled dreams. So this is Janakpuri, which is void of this kind of selfishness, which is void of rag, which is void of dvesh, which is void of attachment, and only love exists. So attachment is selfish, love is divine. Attachment is a lower emotion. Love is a divine emotion. When we have love for somebody, we will say, when we are passing through a garden and we see a beautiful flower blooming, we look at it, we appreciate it, we water it if needed, we take care of it every day, but we would not pluck it and bring it home. We love the flower. We don't want it to come home with us to decorate my house and, make it feel better. No. The flower is where it is supposed to be. I'm very happy for it. I like to watch it. I like to go and help it out. But it does not mean that I'm going to pluck it and bring it home. Because it's happier where it's supposed to be. That is love. Attachment क्या होता? Cut करके हम हमारे घर में लाके, we would have put it in our guldasta and said, now it's so beautiful, isn't it? We do that. We do that unknowingly because we are so driven by attachment. And we don't see any flaw in attachment. Isn't it? And it's very claustrophobic at times for children when parents are overbearingly attached to them. They can't breathe. Really, they can't breathe. So, Janakpuri is void of attachment. So then how do you be? What is love then? When love is when you're loving that individual for what he or she is, remembering that that child is from me, that person is with me, but he is not for me. They have their own independent identity, they have their own independent journey, and be it anybody, your child or anybody you're coming across, as long as their journey is together, they'll be together. When the paths change, they'll change. And you'll say, wherever my child is or wherever that person is, as long as that person is happy, I am happy. It is not that I will be happy when that person is happy with me. That is attachment and selfishness. Love is when you are you are happy now. You are happy, things are okay with you, I'm happy. So Janakpuri was free of all this. There was no rag, there was no dvesh, there was no attachment. There was a detached kind of love that was actually embracing everybody. And that is where Ramji said, so this is the beauty of Janakpuri. And the people who live here, Vedeha, they are not body conscious at all. They don't consider themselves to be this body, bound by this body. What we do is, first we are bound by this body, then we are bound by the four walls, then we are bound. We make so many boundaries by our city, then bound by our state, then bound by our country. We are binding ek ke baad ek ke baad ek ke baad ek. We introduce so many cages and then we lock ourselves in it. And the person who is unbound, like Raja Janak, his heart expands, his very being expands, where his love is meant for everybody. When the heart expands and the love expands, you embrace everything and everyone as your own. It is not ki Sita meri hai. No, everybody is mine. When there are two children sitting in front of you, the concern is equal. It is very difficult. We feel we are very elevated, we are very spiritual. Simple examples will tell us that Delhi bahut dur hai. If we can we distinguish, not distinguish between two children sitting in front of us? Yes, they are our responsibility. The other one is somebody else's responsibility. But that distinction ki no, this is for my child. For a mother, this is the best example. Right? And this is the best benchmark of where we are on our spiritual path. The same thing done by our child will not bother us, but the same thing done by another child will trigger a lot of judgments. Hota hai. Very normal with all of us. And this is a very beautiful benchmark that we should keep, and maybe we can gauge ourselves as to where we have reached. So Janakpuri was free from all that. It was like in Ayodhya, there were no gates on the doors. In Janakpuri, there were no gates on the heart. It was free flow of love. Ayodhya mein hum bolte hain na, there was no fights, no quarrels, there was no youth, there were no gates on the doors, everybody was rich. In Janakpuri, the richness was the richness of contentment. They are not contending ki nahi, everybody had everything, but their hearts were open and they were very, very contented. And when the contentment is there, who is this contentment that is actually, whose aura is floating around? That is Ma Sita. Ma Sita is a symbol of contentment, which was there in Janakpuri, and the vibrance of Janakpuri was because of her. Ramji was mesmerized. He said, Raja Janak and all the Praja is like this. Raja Janak was always like this. He said he was. He's a Raj Rishi. What is the meaning of a Raj Rishi? हम तो हमारे पास में छोटा सा कुछ होता है and we get so attached to our possessions. He was a Raj Rishi. Raj Rishi meaning because he was Raj Rishi Janak, he was not attached to anything that he possessed. So much so that I think we have done the story in the course of the initial days, but I'll just repeat it briefly because it's very important. Guru Yagnavalk, right? Ved Vyas ji's son was Shukdev ji, right? And Yagnavalk was one of the gurus of apne Raja Janak, because the Gotra changed, the gurus changed, and they always had an asan for Yagnavalk. He could come in any time and go. There were a lot of sabhas happening, where a lot of sages used to be called. Ma Gargi was also there. Even at that time, they were so progressive. If we say that women did not have the rights, how was Ma Gargi there? Who was Ma Gargi? We all know Ma Gargi, right? She's the guru of Ma Sita. She was also a sage in the Sabha of Raja Janak. So, it is not that women were not given the rights. Women were given the rights. Women used to wear janeyus. Women used to do the yagnas. It is never a... We have forgotten how progressive we were in our thoughts. Ma Gargi is a symbol of women empowerment. Ma Sita is a symbol of women empowerment. One fine day, as Vishwamitra said, ki there is a Swayamvar happening. So he said, what is a Swayamvar? Why is a Swayamvar? For whom is a Swayamvar? Asked Ramji and Lakshman. He said, it is for Sita. Then they started the story of Ma Sita, and we all know it. That, there was a lot of, there was a drought. And then Raja Janak, who used to treat everybody equally, himself in the process was plowing the fields, and while he was plowing the fields, who came out? It was Ma Sita, right? We won't go into the detail because we have heard this so many times. She came out, this lovely baby Ma Sita came out. Raja Janak raised her as her own. And daughters grow up very fast. So soon, from this toddler to this young lady, he did not know when time passed. And there used to be a place in the kingdom where there was a huge dhanush. Nobody could lift it. It was said to be kept there by Parashuramji, had left it there. We'll go into those stories later when Parashuramji is going to come in too. So he had left it there, and Ma Sita once was just running around, and she rushed into this room. And she looked at this dhanush, and playfully, she just picked it up and started riding it like a horse. While she was riding it like a horse, the parents both came running, and Janak looked at her. He said, you picked it up? He said, yes, Dad, look at it. It's such a beautiful horse. And she went around and around, running and running and running. And he said, can you do me a favor? He said, yes, because we would not be able to, if you leave it elsewhere, can you please go and put it back in its own place? Because और किसी से तो उठना नहीं था. Nobody could lift it. So now she has lifted it. So he said, go and put it back in its own place. Whenever you play, please kindly return it to its place. Because we won't be able to do it. She said, okay. She did not understand. Rakh diya, went back, and it used to be a toy for her. And then Raja Janak said, if my Sita is so divine, I am not going to give her to any ordinary person. And the deal would be that only the person who would be able to move this Dhanush would be allowed to marry her. Right? So this, and on those days, in our scriptures we listen to Swambars. Swambar is a very common mention in most of our granths. What is Swambar? Where a girl chooses the groom. And what do we talk about when we are talking about our dharma? About women and how women are treated in our dharma? It is a mismatch, isn't it? Our scriptures talk about things like Swambar, where women has a right to choose. And there are so many things that she could do. Where she was actually considered so important. And today we say that no, our Sanatan Dharma ye sab nahi hota hai. Women have always been suppressed. Not true. So she said, okay, whoever is able to lift this bow, he has to be as powerful and as divine as you. Only then will be allowed to marry her. And the days went by. And the stress level increased. The mother was stressed. She said, what kind of a pratyogita are you going to organize? Will there ever be anybody who would be able to lift this Dhanush? My daughter is going to remain unmarried for the rest of her life. She said, you should just change the pratyogita. Let Sita go and do the Swambar like always it has been done. Let her go and choose. Just forget about the Swambar because it is not possible. It is impossible. But Raja Janak has said nothing to him. Koi to hoga na. Somebody will be there. So he organized a Swambar, and it is said that from every corner of the universe, not the world, every corner of the universe, through multiple universes, the kings, the devs, the Gandharvas, everybody descended in Janakpuri. They were being greeted and treated, and the day of the Swambar the day of the Pratyogita was coming near. Now, look at it. Guru Vishwamitra, when Raja Dashrath was asked to trust Guru Vishwamitra, he trusted Guru Vishwamitra. See, where has he slowly taken Ramji? He's there in the Pratyogita, and he is ready to take them to the Sabha also, and he has not told them about anything, and Ramji and Lakshmanji have not even asked about anything. And where are they staying right now? While they are questioning and all, they are staying where Guru Vishwamitra is staying. Simple. They are sleeping in that kuti, wherever he is staying. He has not gone into the palace yet. They will say where and when only based on the Guru. Simply before they sleep, they press the legs of Vishwamitra. When they get up again, they go in the morning. Brahma Muhurat is a very important time to get up, very difficult for all of us and our children. They go and that is where they get flowers. They help get the prayer place ready for Guru Vishwamitra to pray. Not even once the thought that we are kings. There is a Sabha, there is a Pratyogita. So many kings and princesses have come. So many princes. Why aren't we part of them? Am I not supposed to lift it? I am also so powerful. I killed Tadka, Subahu, Marich. I can do it. No, not a thought in his mind regarding that I. He is there with Guru Vishwamitra, staying there where Guru Vishwamitra is staying, and Guru Vishwamitra is not going to enter. Raja Janak is going to come out when he finds out. So, this is what is the scenario right now. Janakpuri is decorated. Guru Vishwamitra is talking. And then he says, again he goes back, these people, they are beyond their body, mind and intellect. they considered themselves to be that divine. Raja Janak loves Ma Sita. But there is no rag towards Ma Sita. Again, if we go to rag one more time, rag is very detrimental. I think it is more detrimental than dvesh, because dvesh fir bhi we can remove, right? But rag, attachment. And we have attachment to so many things, right? Again, 1 minute we'll take rag again. Rag is where we are overtly attached to maybe things or people, right? Matlab, that I won't call it love at all, because rag is not love. Attachment. Like, if, very simple example, because we're mothers here. Suppose your child has gone out somewhere, you would not be able to sleep worrying about how he is doing over there. You know? Is it? And then you have sleepless nights, you have panic pangs. But you cannot live when the child is not there in front of you. That is such a strong attachment that you have, that you cannot breathe when the child is not in your presence. This is my child. And that is where all the problems start. Right? Mine. When people, this is with people, we get attached to things also. Right? This can happen to over-possessiveness. Feeling of, over-possessiveness, where you feel, no, this is mine. It belongs to me. And I cannot operate sensefully without this person. Things. We get so attached to our things. Oh, this particular sari, or this particular car, or this particular piece of furniture. It is not that we own it, they start owning us. Right? Be it people or things. It is not that we are owning it. They start owning us. And it happens. I think this will require for us to sit down with a piece of paper and introspect. Because unknowingly, we are attached to not only people, but things. And this is very dangerous. Nowadays, people say that I don't own things. All the things that are there in my house own me. There are people who don't leave the house thinking कि घर का क्या होगा. अरे भाई, घर ही तो है, right? There was a sage and a tourist, a very famous thing, and he said, he came to the sage's house and he says, you don't have anything, right? The sage said, you also don't have anything. He said, yeah, but I am a tourist. The sage said, I am also a tourist. Who said I am permanent in this world? Can anybody claim to be permanent in this world? We are all temporary. We are temporary, our relationships are also temporary and bound to change. When a child is a baby, he sees nothing else but his mother. Right? As he grows up, the friends take a very important part. And later on, when he enters the Grihastha ashram and he or she has his own chakkar of responsibilities, then the spouse and the children take priority, you take a back seat. And at that time, if you still keep crying कि मेरा बच्चा मेरे से दूर चला गया, वो तो जाना ही था. Nobody holds on to their children as we do. The birds, the fishes, the turtle, nature teaches us how to be. Nature is free from rag. Nature is free from attachment. When their responsibility is done, they throw the child out of the nest, the child flies away, khatam ho gaya baat. Isn't it true? We just have to learn from the nature. So, now, this is the kind of, why are we delving into it? Because this is what Janakpuri is. To understand Janakpuri, we cannot explain it by only the beauty of Janakpuri. The beauty of Janakpuri is this, which Ramji is experiencing. And then, he is so curious and he wants to know more about Raja Janak. Who is Raja Janak? Who is his guru? Was he always like this? So we have heard about Yagnavalk, right? There was always a seat for Yagnavalkji to be there. But then there is also one more guru called Ashtavakra. And this dawn of realization happened to Raja Janak when once, and again this is a story I'm repeating today, when once he was sleeping, right? Or let me not start it like this. One day, Raja Janak suddenly found himself in a situation where he was thrown out of his kingdom, thrown out of his palace. Everything was taken away from him. Right? Nothing was left. He was walking around. There was no chappal on his feet, and it's like that nightmarish time. He was hungry, thirsty. Nobody would give him anything. He was asked to leave. He was treated meanly, torn and tattered clothes, tired. But बहुत मुश्किल से somehow he managed to get something to eat by begging in front of the mandir, or the mandir was giving food to everybody. He stood there, he took it, and when he was about to put this into his mouth, a bird took it away. And he started crying and crying and crying. He said, I was defeated in the battle. My entire kingdom and my sampati was taken away. I was thrown out of my own kingdom without anything. I've barely managed to eat anything in a week. I do not know where to go, where to sit, what to do. And after so many days, I got this little bit of food, and that also has been taken away from me. And he started crying loudly. And we have experienced it many times, I'm sure. And he cried and he cried and he cried and he was shouting. When suddenly, one of the person who was fanning him, she woke him up. She said, what's wrong with you, Rajan? Why are you crying? He opened his eyes. His face was red, flushed, tears flowing. He looked around. And where was he? He was on his bed, sleeping aram se, being fanned. He was in his palace. So much food was lying all around. Music was playing to wake him up. And there was breeze of fresh air. He was nice and clean and clothed. And the ministers came running by that time ki Raja ko kuch ho gaya. And Raja Janak looked at them and he said, ye sach ya wo sach? Ye sach ya wo sach? Ministers did not understand, and Raja Janak, after this experience, did not utter another word. All he could say was, ye sach ya wo sach? Is this truth or that truth that I've just experienced? What is the truth? And I want to know the truth. The only thing he asked anybody or everybody was, ye sach ya wo sach? He said, call anybody. I want to know what is the truth. Is this palace and this beauty the truth? Or me being a beggar, dying for 1 grain of rice, the truth? Because he experienced the emotions there also, and he is experiencing the emotions here also. It is not void of emotions, right? When we dream or have a nightmare or we have something, we start crying and shouting. So the emotions are there as if it has happened. So ye sach ya wo sach? He's asking again and again and again. Everybody thought this Rajan has gone mad. But finally, they got somebody called Ashtavakra. And there is an entire Gita. See, we have a lot of Gitas. We know one Gita, but there is Vibhishan Gita, there is Shiv Gita, there is Ashtavakra Gita. We have so many Gitas to learn from. Vibhishan Gita we'll cover later in the Ramayana itself. So Ashtavakraji came and he was called. And Ashtavakra, because he was bent on 8 sides. So he was called, or Rajan was taken there, and he asked one question. He said, ye sach ya wo sach? And he replied very simply, Rajan, na ye sach, na wo sach. Tu hi sach. Neither your dream is a reality, nor the world you're seeing right now in your waking state a reality. The world we have so much rag and attachment to is not real. Just like the dream, this world is also not real. Just like the people of the dream vanish when we wake up, एक दिन ये भी खत्म हो जाएगा खेल. किस बात का राग? Do you miss the people in your dreams and say, नहीं मुझे तो मिलना है वापस. I have to go back to there. My daughter is waiting for me in the dreams. I have to give her food. Does not happen, right? You get up, dreams finish, हो गया खत्म. What happens when we are in this world? Because we assumed this to be real. We assumed this to be the only reality of our being. And he says, no. Na ye sach, na wo sach. Rajan, tu hi sach. You are the only reality. Very deep. And this answer of ye sach ya wo sach is given in the Ashtavakra Gita. See, we all have time, right? We can do some work and start reading something else also. Ashtavakra Gita, a simple read, maybe a simple one. I'll try to find out a simple one and share. It is the answer to what is the reality. What is me? Yehi sach. And from that day, ऐसे ही they were elevated souls which were not bound by their body and their kingdom and their, physical foundations. But this was like a stamp. And this is how Raja Janak lived. And when a Raja lives like that, the Praja also lives like that. Right? He used to lead by example. And when Ramji was listening, he went a step further. He said, Ved Vyas Ji's son, Shukdev Ji, Shukdev Ji, who narrated the entire Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. It is said in Bhagavad that Raja Parikshit had only 7 days to live, just like all of us. We also have only 7 days to live, isn't it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 7 दिन में से एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. So he had 7 days to live. We have 7 days to live. He realized that he has only 7 days to live. We are in that, delusion कि अभी तो बहुत जीना है. And that is why we don't act, So 7 days to live, and he was looking for somebody. He said, how do I get moksha? It is not that I want to live. I have committed an error, right? I have committed an error. I demeaned a sage. Whether it was because of Kali on my head, it is a beautiful story in the start of Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. But now I want to get moksha. I do not want to come back to Mrityulok. I don't want to be stuck. I do not want to have rag and attachment to anybody around me right now. Be it my thing or my daughter or my son or anybody. I just want to be free and I want to move on. Never to be born again. So what he did is he sat down. He took the asan where the shrotas sit, the people who listen. He took the asan and he called all the sages. Guru Vashish, Vishwamitra, Gautam, name it, Agastya, Bharadwaj, Ji, sab, Bhrigu aa gaye, all the sages you can name came down. And he said, why are you sitting on the Shrota asan? Why are you sitting where listeners are supposed to sit? One of you take the asan, I have only 7 days left. I don't have much time. Ved Vyas Ji, Bhagavad aapne likhi hai na? Baitho. Bole, no. I can't sit. I am not eligible to tell you. And if I tell you, it is not guaranteed that you'll get moksha. He asked everybody. He's going to everybody, all these great sages, begging them to take the asan and start narrating, saying, I don't have time. Just imagine. कभी हमारे साथ ऐसा होता है कि यार प्लीज सारा ग्रंथ सुना दो, मेरे पास में समय नहीं है, क्या पता कल मौका मिले ना मिले. That was his jigyasa. He said, please बैठो और सुनाना शुरू करो. Before my 7 days get over, at least let me finish the Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, or at least let me finish the Ramayana. Do we have that urge कि नहीं एक दिन नहीं, आप है ना, चलो आप रोज सुनाओ 7 दिन ताकि खत्म हो, क्या पता 8वें दिन मैं रहूं ना रहूं. And he's asking. Nobody came. All these great sages, and from a distance came Shukdev Ji. Nothing. He wears nothing. I, धीरे I. Without being invited, without being asked, he came, he sat on the asan, and he started. He narrated the entire, and all these great sages, even Ved Vyas Ji, his father, who had written the Granth himself, is sitting and listening. He narrated it. At the end of 7 days, Raja Parikshit got moksha, and as he had come, so he went away with all, including his father, touching his feet. See, this is the beauty of our dharma. Our dharma does not give weightage to age or money. It gives weightage to that divine knowledge. And when the divine knowledge is there, time and again, children have narrated to their parents as gurus. It does not matter, because we are beyond the body limits, and that is what our scriptures talk about. So he went away. So now this Shukdev Ji was asked by Ved Vyas Ji once upon a time that you also need a guru. So he said, ठीक है, तो you become my guru. He said, no, I can't become your guru. And that is a reality, right? हमारे बच्चे हमसे नहीं सीखते. You can teach anybody, but very difficult to say the same thing and teach the children. Yeah, very few understand. I do not know. So he said, no, I do not want to risk it. I don't want to be your guru. I am good being your father. Koi problem nahi. And look at this Shukdev Ji. He was beyond this. Shukdev Ji's narrations are many. Once he was walking into the jungle, and while he was walking into the jungle, his father was chasing him. Don't go. I have found you after so many days. Please come back. Please come back. He is chasing, and when he passes a river, in the river, some girls are bathing. So when he passes the river, this young boy, he's passing the river, these girls continue bathing. But the minute Ved Vyasji crosses the river, they all rush to hide themselves and get clothes. Now Ved Vyasji stopped. He said, what is this? This young boy just went. At that time, आपको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा. Look at me. I'm an age-old sage. I am Pardada, Dada, what? I don't even know how old I am. And you're hiding from me? He said, there is a big difference, the girl said. Right? He does not consider himself to be the body. He is a soul which is free from gender. When he looked at us, he saw the souls within. But when you look at us and when you're explaining the entire scenario, you remember that you're an age-old rishi and we are girls. So that was Shukdev Ji. When he looked around, all he could see was that Param Atma, that divine. He did not see that this is a girl, that is a boy, this is rich, this is poor. कुछ नहीं, उनको बस वो एक आत्मा ग्लो होती हुई सब में दिखती थी. And if we are able to see this, dvesh will vanish from my heart. All our hearts. So this kind of a person needed a guru. And Ved Vyasji said, तुम राजा जनक के पास चले जाओ. And he said, no. He is a grihastha. Now we have to understand Janakpuri, right? He is a grihastha. He is living in opulence. Music goes on. Feasts go on. He eats this. He dresses like this. He sleeps on beds of gold. Me, I am a clothless sannyasi. मैं शुकदेव हूं, उनसे क्या ज्ञान लूंगा? बोला तुम जाओ तो सही. You see, the father said, okay, to appease his father, he went. And first thing so happened that Raja Janak said, I am busy. So you sit outside. When I have time, I'll call you. And just imagine such arrogance, he said. Shukdev, and he's not calling me in. And where he was made to sit? He was made to sit near the garbage can. बैठा दिया राजा जनक ने, है ना. तो अब every day somebody would throw garbage, the garbage would fall on him, he would get angry. 1 day, 2 days, 6 months went by, and finally they called him in. They called him in, and what did he see inside? Raja Janak was not busy. He was sitting. He was enjoying music. He was drinking. He was eating. He was dressed in the most amazing manner. Top to bottom was covered in gold. He said, Raja Janak, why do they call him Raj Rishi? किस एंगल से राज ऋषि लगता है? And he's busy, he's talking. अच्छा ये कर दो, वो कर दो. All engrossed in the world outside. He said, what is he going to teach me? Now Raja Janak gauged it. He said, ठीक है. He said, listen, why don't you go and enjoy my city for a while and come back? I know I've kept you waiting for 6 months. Another day won't do any harm. So kindly go. And I think we've narrated in the beginning of the session. So he gave him a bowl of milk or oil, whatever you wanted to. And behind Shukdev Ji was kept a great strong man with a huge sword, good enough to chop off his head with a blow. Ek baar mein. He said, what is this? He said, you go enjoy my city, but make sure that the oil or the milk does not spill. The minute one drop spills, your head will be separated from your body by him. And he's going to walk behind you all day long. Shukdev Ji says, what? बोले जाइए please. अब जाइए. ठीक है. He was just thinking about his father as to what he has put him into. With this bowl of oil or milk, he's roaming around the entire city. The entire day goes by. He's very cautious not to spill a drop. Right? Very cautious not to spill a drop. And in the evening when he comes, what happens? Oh, Raja Janak says, Arey, pura din, almost it has been some 10 hours. How was the rangoli? How was the decoration? Did you go and see the cultural event that we were having? Did you eat the food? We have the best of delicacies everywhere right now. How would he eat? How would he see? He said, I did not do anything. If you give me the permission, can you please remove him so that I can put this bowl down? Very frustrated, and halti palti maar ke baith gaye. And he finally could breathe properly. He said, why, what happened? You were in the city all day long. Didn't you enjoy it? He said, what enjoy it? My entire focus was on this bowl because you said one drop goes and my head will be cut off. I did not smell anything. I did not see anything. I did not enjoy anything. I don't know the routes and the roads. I don't know your city. What kind of a atithya is this? He said, Dekho, this is how I live in this world. And Shukdev ji started smiling. There were 2 tests that were done. This is just one of them. Just imagine, Raja Janak is in the world, but the world is not within him. He's doing his duties. He looks like any other king running his kingdom. He sleeps on that velvet bed and he gets up and eats those delicacies. But tomorrow again, if those are not with him, he will not feel anything. Because he's in the world doing his duties, the world has not taken or made room in his heart. कहते हैं ना, there's a, क्या कहते हैं, ना जग छोड़ो ना हरी भूलो, करम कर जिंदगानी में, जियो दुनिया में यो जैसे कमल रहता है पानी में. कहते हैं ना जग छोड़ो ना हरी भूलो. None of our scriptures ask us to leave the house. Again and again they'll talk about brahmacharya ashram, grihastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, sannyasa ashram. It is a sequence. All 4 are important. Not one is lesser than the other. We grihasthis feel that we are lesser than the sannyasis. We are not. If a grihasthi is able to live to the utmost based on the rule book that is given to him with doing the dash aunch, and our income is also not ours. We do not know. Our income belongs to the brahmacharya ashram, the vanaprastha ashram, the sannyas ashram. Our incomes belong to the roads making the city. Our income belongs to the pitralok also, because we have to take care of the pitras. Our income belongs to all the animals that we see around us, the plants. Whatever we are learning, only a portion of it is to be taken by us. Because only the grihasthas earn. The brahmacharis don't earn. The vanaprasthas and the sannyasis don't earn. The birds don't earn. The plants don't earn. So the entire burden of this Srishti is on us. After the creator, protector and the destroyer, of course, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. But what we do is, when God blesses us financially, we increase our standards of living. We do not increase our standards of giving. Hota hai na? And then we will say, okay, of course, sannyasi is great. Yes, then a sannyasi is great. And hum unka pair chhuenge, hum tuchh hain. But the minute you start living by your ashram's rules, and aap apna dene lagte ho, karne lagte ho, when your ashram is supposed to give birth to the next generation who is divine like Ram, why do 2 people get married? They get married for bhog or for yog. 2 people get married for yog, not for bhog. But marriage becomes an entire drama of bhog, isn't it? See, so every ashram is divine in itself. No inferior than the other. And this is the ashram we are going to talk about when we see Sri Ramji living his ashram. So over here, Raja Janak is saying, this is how he lives in the world. Like a lotus. Everything is there. But his mind is totally connected to the divine. One focus, single focus. And he's just doing his duties like, okay, the director has put me in this play. These are my words. This is my role. This is how I'm supposed to act. This is it. Full stop. And after the movie closes, finish. Do you really, when the actors and actresses are acting in a movie and then they have a make pretend child and this and that, oh, the emotions are running and we also start crying. But actually it is just a drama. And that is what Raja Janak was doing. Living as per the director's wish. And that is what everybody in Janakpuri was like. And that is why Sita came, right? Sita did not come to Ayodhya. Sita did not come to any other place. She did not go to Brahmalok or Indralok. She came from the soils of Janakpuri because this is the kind of aura that was there. One more short thing to understand Janakpuri. And try to experience what Sri Ramji is experiencing right now. Again, Raja Janak was trying to, Vishwamitra is trying to explain Raja Janak. Shukdev ji has understood Raja Janak. Now, there were a lot of sages who would come to the king's places. Right? It was a trend. They would, Hari Om Ma. Ha Ma. Yes. So, a lot of sages would come to the king's places. This one sage was invited and he was asked to stay. He was given all the benefits. right? Aram se so. He would eat everything that the king was eating. He would wear everything that the king was wearing. He would sleep where the king would sleep. He would go and watch the drama and the dance that was happening. Days went by, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then the doubt came to the king's mind. He said, what is the difference between him and me? Again, we are trying to understand Raja Janaka. The difference between him and me, what is the difference? No difference. He is doing what I am doing. He is wearing what I am wearing. He is eating what I am eating. He is watching what I am watching. He is sleeping where I am sleeping. And he is not even asking to leave. So he is a dhongi. He is not a true sage. What is the point? He went and he talked to the sage directly. कि मेरे दिमाग में तो ऐसा है. I think you are not a true sage. He said, okay, no problem. You think I'm not a true sage? No problem. He went inside. He changed into his tattered dhoti. He held his kamandalu, his little stick, his bundle where there was one more cloth because sannyasis are not supposed to have more than two. One more cloth so that when this is washed, he can wear that. And he took his bundle and started walking. The king said, you answer my question. Are you a dongi or not? He did not utter any word. Because you're just like me. You've been doing everything that I'm doing. And the king was walking behind him to get the answer of this question. And the sage is walking. And the king is chasing. The sabha is looking. The ministers are falling. Out of the palace, out of the city, out of the country, out. When he's about to cross the river, the king said, stop. The sage turns and said, why? I can't go any further. And the sage smiled and says, well, I can. And the sage walked away. This is the small thin line of difference between the world owning you and the world using you, or you're just using the world where it is needed. The king could not leave his palace. The king could not leave his family. The king could not leave his duties. The king could not leave his opulences. He could not. He said, "Main nahi ja sakta aage." The sage said, yes, I was there. You offered it to me. I enjoyed. मैं जा सकता हूँ without even missing anything. And आराम से जाके I can sleep on that thorny bed once again without even thinking about the silk bed that you offered me for the last 2-3 weeks. And this is what Raja Janak was. And this is what Janakpuri was all about. And this is the beauty that Sri Ramji was experiencing. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman.